I'm Bill Frisch, and I'm sitting here with Jason LeValley, who is pretty much the impetus for Downtown Radio, the man getting the project going and organization and many other hats that he wears. And I'd like to start off, we've heard about presentations of the State of the Union, State of the State, and I'd like to get a little indicator of the state of radio from you, dealing with what's going on in the industry in the country at this time.
Well, the state of the radio nationally is just horrible. There are just a handful of companies or corporations that own about 90% of the stations across the country. So you get the same songs being played on the same types of station from city to city all across the country, and it's all based on money, and it just doesn't really consider the human aspect or any concern for the music lover. So the LPFM stations are designed to not only inform and help organize things within the community, but also to kind of break up that monotony of corporate music that has already been sanctioned by the government.
Specifically, why is the station Downtown Radio being formed? Is that a reflection of what you've been seeing overall with the industry, or is there some other little thing that sparked this project?
Well, actually, I heard about the Community Radio Act that was signed into law in January of 2011 by President Obama, and I met a guy that was interested in starting a station, and I just teamed up with him for a while, and I've been working on this now since then, so over 4 years. And he dropped out of the project due to health reasons. And anyway, we just want to play a lot of the music that doesn't get overexposed on the commercial channels. So we want to play a lot of independent artists. We definitely want to play a lot of local music because Tucson has a great local music scene for a city this size. And we will still play some of the familiar artists, but we're just not going to play the songs that have been played to death by corporate radio.
And what impact will Downtown Radio have on community? It is a community radio station, and you're immersing yourself into the downtown area, the 4th Avenue shopping strip. It's called strip, but it's a great shopping center district, I think, and University of Arizona. So why are you what impact are you going to have on community, do you think, in these areas?
Right. Well, for one thing, the city of Tucson has been working to unite the university with the downtown, and so they've got the modern streetcar that runs from the university to downtown, and we'll be doing the same thing because we're going to be reaching an area that includes the university, 4th Avenue, downtown proper, and other parts in the general downtown area. And so we'll not only be playing great music, but we'll be able to help organize people for the great events, and we'll be able to one thing that I would really like to do is reach out to people that are suffering from mental illnesses or any kind of emotional duress, ranging from like the breakup of a relationship to serious mental illnesses like schizophrenia, and connect them with resources that can help them. I think everybody has had some point in their life where they've really needed to talk to somebody, and so it's something that applies to all of us, and that's going to be a focus of Downtown Radio, is connecting people with resources. And then we also want to get youth involved, give them, give some interested youth a chance to do something really positive. And we'll be running PSAs, and we want to highlight people that are doing great things in the community in hopes of inspiring others to do the same. And generally just helping to improve the general downtown community.
So you're talking about downtown events and all, and what do you see your part being to integrate different groups or organizations in downtown through the radio station?
Oh, well, we're going to continue to sponsor events. We've already had 5 benefit shows that were all very successful. There are a lot of people that really want to help support downtown radio. And we had something at Downtown Kitchen and Cocktails where it was called Celebrity Bartender, and we had a bunch of the most well-known musicians in town like Hal Gelb and Brian Lopez come and serve drinks to people and just be available to talk to people about their careers and so forth. So that was really fun, and we're going to have a presence at all kinds of downtown events. And when I say downtown, I mean the general downtown area, the broadcast range that we're going to serve.
And you mentioned at the beginning that it's been about a 4-year process.
Mm-hmm.
What has been going on with you got legalities, you got financials, you've got some engineering, and
oh right, yeah.
So
it's
what's the journey been?
It's been long and arduous. I had no idea it was going to take this long when I started out, but there's been a lot of paperwork, filling out online forms and submitting them. I had to do stuff that I'd never done before, like write a business plan and bylaws and articles of incorporation and that kind of thing. But then there's been a lot of waiting for the FCC to respond too. So we submitted the application, and I had to wait, and the wait for the window to open was like a year longer than it was supposed to be. Yeah. And then we had to wait for them to respond. And we also applied for and got 501c3 status. So we are a federal nonprofit.
Right.
But to answer your question, it's been long, and it's been frustrating at times, but we're at the point now where we are virtually ready to launch. So it looks like it's going to be worth the effort.
Yeah. And where is the station going to be located on the radio dial?
Oh, on the radio dial, it'll be at 99.1 FM, so right in the center of the dial, and that's the frequency that we wanted. We had an engineering study done, and they said that would be your best frequency. You're bound to have the best range and best penetration of walls and so forth if you're at that frequency. So we really lucked out. There was a time there where it looked like we might have to do a timeshare with other groups that wanted to start a station, and that I think would have been a big pain, but just everything worked out well. We've got the station that we'll have access to 24/7, and we will not right from the beginning, but we will get to the point where we have DJs in there 24/7.
Versus 0% for DJs in a lot of corporate stations.
Right, corporate stations are all automated. The DJs have no control over what they play.
Yeah.
They just have to play what comes up, and that's it. But this will be a situation where the DJs pick the music that they want to play.
And in addition with the downtown support, you've had some of the fundraisers specifically for the station, and another one coming up at La Cocina.
La Cocina.
La Cocina, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Was out of the state for a little bit. Lost part of that Spanish. Coming up at La Cocina in downtown Friday, May 22nd.
May 22nd, yeah.
And do you look at that as your last fundraiser for?
It'll be the last fundraiser before we go on the air.
Okay.
Yeah, and this, this fundraiser is happening because someone approached me, someone in a band, a woman that goes by the name Velvet Hammer. She's a great drummer and plays with a couple bands in town. She volunteered to have one of her bands play at one of our benefits, and I wasn't planning any benefits at that time, but I called her back and I asked her if she would be willing to put together a show. And so we've got this really great show lined up. She just did a fantastic job. It's called The Women Who Rock Tucson and the Men Who Play With Them. And it's May 22nd, La Cocina. It's going to be just a great night. The performers are some of the top bands in town, and they're all female fronted.
Mm-hmm. And in additional for getting support, online presence, just for about anything you want to do these days and anything, what have you got going on online?
Well, of course we've got a Facebook page, and there are more people liking it every day, so that's awesome. And we've got a web page, of course. I guess that's it. We should have a Twitter page and some of the other social media, but it all just takes a lot of time and manpower that maybe we just don't have right now.
Yeah, and it's building blocks, and a lot of folks have started out with basic Facebook. It's all over, and then you get into the other ones and just expand your presence.
Right.
What is the initial monetary goal for startup, and where do you stand now?
Okay. Well, our goal is 20 grand, and we are closing in on that. Actually, we've just got about at this point about just over 3,000 more to go, and we'll be able to launch. And there are some people that I haven't even asked for money yet that I think will donate. So we're going to be there very soon.
All right.
Yeah. And also just wanted to mention that we have a studio space at 1 East Tool. It's in the basement of this healthcare facility called Sinfonia. And we've got this huge area. We're going to be able to use the whole space down there, so we can have bands perform down there and broadcast them live over the radio. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and that's one of the positives I think. And I've streamed other community radio stations around the country, and I've found some favorites. So we talking about. And I just love hearing local music on a local radio station, and which not going to travel Appalachia, but stream their radio station and hear what's happening there, So
yeah,
that sounds great. And there is a bit of talent in Tucson, musically.
Yeah, definitely. When I first moved here 17 years ago, I was really struck by how much great music there is, and it continues to impress me. There's a lot of great music here, a lot of talent.
I found the same.
So we'll be playing those bands, definitely.
All right. So what's going to be the theme or the motto for the radio station coming on board in Tucson? It's going to be all rock and roll.
It's going to be mostly rock and roll. Yeah. We're going to have a general format that's rock and roll, but there will be space on the schedule for other types of music. We will have a jazz show, we will have a classical show, and then there's still space to be determined by whoever wants to bring an idea.
Right.
We're open to anything, really.
And earlier you were talking about the youth and what an asset they are to the community, and I believe in that. As somebody said, our future is our youth. Any plans or ideas to bring?
That was Whitney Houston, I think.
Was it?
I believe the children are our future.
I don't know. If I can't attribute, I'll just say I've heard it from somewhere or a famous person. But are you going to bring in or plan or have any ideas to bring in youth to actually have shows or become involved?
Yes, yeah. I've been a high school counselor for a long time, and I would like to incorporate a youth element and just give some young people the opportunity to do something really unique and positive.
Yeah, excellent. All right, and there we have it from Jason LeValley, and coming up soon, Rockin' Tucson.
Downtown Radio, 99.1 FM.